The footage here is some that I shot in our pre-production fog tests, and other stuff is during the 4 days that we spent filming on what was called the Rocky Beach location. I brought a mini DV camera onto this picture, as I do on other pictures, primarily to get footage in pre-production. This is our initial scout to location where we eventually shot the opening sequence with the airplane flying over the glaciers. That's Chris on one of our many helicopter trips. The shot of the logs in the water was one of our initial scouts and gave us the idea to shoot the log boom sequence from a high angle looking down. One of the biggest feats was the fog sequence that we shot, where the only way to get to this location was by boat or helicopter. And as you'll see, we brought barges into this location, created this huge base camp there, and built this cabin. We built 2 cabins, one on the stage for the interior work, and then another for the exterior work, which also had a partial working interior. And had to be built on location, and the only way to get all that stuff in was by helicopter. So all the materials and labor for, I guess the labor came in on boats, the carpenters came in on boats, but all the materials for the cabin came in via helicopter. And I think they made between 40 and 60 helicopter runs to get all that stuff in. And this is how, you could generally get up the hill. You could walk up or take a gator up this one rocky path. The boulders are very difficult to cross, and we were amazed that nobody got injured by the end of the 4 days. Everybody was very careful, and the producers were very careful to warn everybody of the dangers there and to let everybody know to take their time. That's me on the platform dolly rig there. Ryan Monroe is our dolly grip, who did an incredible job as well. The Rocky Beach location, my fear before visiting there was that there wasn't going to be any way to control over the 4-day period the lighting conditions, expecting it to be sunny some days and cloudy other days, which turned out to be the case. I think over the 4-day period it rained for 2 days and it was sunny and partly cloudy for another 2 days. What I didn't realize till we went there to do the fog tests is that by putting in this volume of fog, which is effectively smoke, over that area, I created a huge silk. It silked the sunlight and effectively became all overcast within that area. And so I had a consistent lighting scheme, whether it was cloudy or sunny. We knew we had to move some really heavy rocks, so we went out and found kind of the strongest he-men that we could. I think they might have been loggers, I'm not really sure, in British Columbia. And I think that rock is probably about 18 tons. And for 2 guys to move that is extraordinary. That is, of course, a movie rock. And so we did have I think we had about 10 or 15 styrofoam boulders that we put in, that we borrowed from the set of the original Star Trek television series, in case you recognize those. It was extremely difficult and dangerous conditions running across those rocks, as you can see here. That's Ryan on the left with the hat running across the rocks, tracking the actor there. A really, really tricky situation, and required, a brave and agile dolly grip crane operator. We lit some of the scenes prior to Will going to the cabin where they're in that stakeout position just to get basically a little eye light in them. But once he was in the fog, there's no way you can penetrate that fog with a light effectively. If you try to front light them in order to get an eye light, you're basically lighting the smoke surface in front of you between the camera and the subject. So you're actually creating a more dense fog. And it creates you have the same effect by backlighting the fog as well. So there's no point in trying. You basically are working with what you have, and it's also very low contrast. This scene basically is what it is in the fog itself, and we went completely natural, which is great for Chris as well, because he felt the freedom to be able to go 360 degrees with the camera in the fog, which I think is liberating for everybody.